I just think it's a negotiating ploy by Khalil Mack. I think the reports are Gruden has reached out. He just hasn't gotten a response back from Khalil Mack. I just think Khalil Mack is playing hardball. And so right now, I'm just going to call it a standard negotiating standoff. I'm not going to read more into it that there is some kind of unrecoverable disconnect between Gruden and Khalil Mack.
There's also a report, though, they're miles apart. Miles apart. So I don't want to put it all on Khalil Mack. He's the best player defensively. He and Von Miller, Aaron Donald are the three best defensive players maybe in the league. Doesn't it seem weird if you took over a company, 2 months in, I hadn't talked to my best employee? I mean, wouldn't you like Uber to his house, knock on doors?
Yeah.
Something. I mean, something?
No, yeah, he should be showing up at his doorstep. You know, not just a text and, hey, how you doing? Can we talk? No. When can we talk? You fly out there or you come and see him. And this just shows the fact that a lot of things have been said about John Gruden over the years with him, players and some players not being able to trust him. He's the best hype man, best hype coach that ever came through the NFL, ever. He can get the whole team hyped up and riled and on the same page for his own benefit. But if you don't reach out to the best defensive player in the National Football League, there's a problem. And I know you're an offensive coach. You're more worried about Derek Carr. You're more worried about the wide receivers in the offensive front. But Khalil Mack is a once-in-a-lifetime player. You got to fix that. And if you don't fix that, that shows me what kind of coach, what kind of person you are. Because he has enough power. He signed that big deal so he can make some things happen. And if they're that far apart, you should be the one that's saying, we can't make it happen right now. We can't structure something, but we want you here. And if he hasn't done that yet, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's my problem, and that's what I'm going with. I don't know what has transpired as far as communications between John Gruden and Khalil Mack, but I don't need you to come to my doorstep. I don't expect him to go to the extreme, but at least let it be known that I have reached out to Khalil Mack. I have let him know how important he is to this team. He has a C on his chest for a reason. Forget the potential of NFL Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Like, he is your captain, a team captain, a leader on that team, on that defense. And the reports are there's been no relationship. There's been no communication. That's just a bad look as a head coach coming in with this buzz from the fans, the media, the expectations, all of that, and you haven't communicated to your best player. I have a problem with that.
Communication's a two-way street now, though.
It is, but I guarantee Derek Carr didn't have to reach out.
By the way, listen, 2 of their first 3 picks were offensive players. They really needed defensive help. So, you know, I don't think it's cryptic. I mean, Reggie McKenzie wanted to help the defense. Gruden's like, no, I want offense. You're kind of sending a message that defense is second class. You got to hold of Derek Carr.
Let's be clear, though, here. John Gruden, in his original stint with the Raiders, built a Super Bowl contending team. As soon as they went to the Super Bowl after he left, he goes to Tampa Bay, and with a great defense and Brad Johnson at quarterback, he won a Super Bowl. He's been successful everywhere he's been. Some of the hype about him has been the golden touch he seems to have. It's not all just coming out of his mouth, and he is full of bluster and says some things to hype himself, there's no question. But he has produced results, and he has produced great results with defensive players. I don't think he's got amnesia. I think he knows you got to have the Derek Brooks, the Warren Sapps, the John Lynches to have success. I think he's got to know he needs Khalil Mack.
Of course you need it. There's 32 teams in the league that needs Khalil Mack. The problem is that you have to go beyond what you would do as a head coach. You have the power. You're going to be here for a long time. You can make things happen. You can find a way to get in front of Khalil Mack or Khalil Mack get in front of you, however that works. If you haven't even made communication to me, it sounds like, okay, we're going to go out the offense side of the ball. I'm going to make myself and his offense look good, and whatever happens on the defense side of the ball happens. That's how I'm looking at it. If you don't reach out to me or find a way, I just don't see Khalil Mack playing hardball with the head coach. Maybe with the organization, but not playing hardball with John Gruden.
My memory is that they tried to go basically all offense for a couple of years with Derek Carr, and the defense kept letting them down. I can't believe Gruden is this stupid that he's watched the Raiders with Derek Carr score points and not be able to.
I don't think it's stupid. I think his brand is offense. And if John fails, he doesn't want to also crush his brand. John wants to build by the way, Pete Carroll, at both USC and Seattle, the offensive line's gone into the tank. Why? Because Pete's brand is defense. He's always going to take care of the defense so it looks good for his brand.
See, I buy that because when you're offensive or defensive-minded coach, head coach at that, you tend to, and you know this, you can speak to this, you tend to stay on one side of the ball and make sure that your side of the ball isn't the reason why we're not successful.
Thank you.
That's important to offensive and defensive-minded coaches.
I saw it with Dick Vermeil when he basically got run out of St. Louis from Mike Martz. He came over to Kansas City, and he built an offense because he wanted to prove he could do it with Mike Martz. I just don't see this with John Gruden because as much as he's known for offense, his brand is really about winning.
Yes, I agree.
It's winning. That's what I remember about him in his two previous stints.
I think
not great offense.
Your memory is fuzzy. His last 6 years in Tampa, 3 of the 6 losing seasons, 2 of the winning seasons were 9 and 7. It wasn't a great division. He left, had alienated a lot of people. He'd never developed the next great quarterback, and he had a losing record. That's the reality of it. He took Tony Dungy's blueprint and roster, took the momentum, played a team that he knew their plays. I think his brand is bigger than reality.